We're still in January. Y'all know that?
This shit has been lasting forever, and y'all are on the East Coast. You guys don't even know how bad it's been over here. Just wildfires.
To be fair,
I mean,
not
you guys are
really
gonna have to
fair.
have landslides now because of the amount of rain you're getting.
We're getting now flood warnings. We're also getting don't
world
go
is
outside.
ending.
Well, not only that, but like
Don't go outside.
Well, because the runoff from the fires, everything that burned, it's chemicals. So it's like all the buildings, the trees, just the whatever, the water that is now coming down is full of all the toxins from the fire. So it's just, you're damned if you do and you're damned. So now people are like, thank you, rain. Thank you.
Can I drink the tap water though?
No, we're still on a boil water notice. Yeah.
Oh, that's insane. I was gonna say, I saw someone post a map where it's like the West is on fire and the East is frozen because Texas was frozen over again.
Wow, good for that.
It wasn't as bad as last time because like they were, I guess, more prepared this time, so they didn't lose power for like 2 weeks. But it's just weather that should not be happening in multiple places is happening. Y'all are on fire, which like those happen, but y'all also were what? Y'all were like hundreds of days without rain before these fires happened, right?
I think the last rain was like the middle of June, I think they said. It was some weird thing.
So the conditions were just there to just let shit burn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Adam,
where were you, Adam, last week? You were at a game?
Georgia. Yeah, I was in Georgia. I was in Atlanta.
Can I get a little more than that? What were you gaming?
It was at the Ohio State Notre Dame National Championship in Atlanta.
This is
dope.
College football.
She was like, "This is what again?"
Sorry. Well, because I think I've heard of like Notre Dame in the sense of movies talking about them. Notre Dame's like I think that
Rudy takes place at Notre Dame. The movie Rudy.
What is that?
It's a classic movie.
Is it really?
Well,
about what?
Yeah. Not one that she
done. Is it a love story? Is it a romance?
Technically. He was offsides, by the way, for anyone watching this. I just want to throw that out there.
Is it romance in the sense of like he was offsides? I don't know what that means, but now I have to Google something. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yes.
19. Here you go.
So I was 1 when that movie came out. Adam, how old were you? 10? Damn. Old as fuck. I was like, damn. Kevin Hart's. Damn. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. We love you. We love you, Adam.
Speak for yourself.
I'll leave. It's okay.
No, we have to have our obligatory white guy, or else how does this work? Like we're a Verizon bar of color right now. We have to have you. It has. At least on my screen, it is. It's
especially
brown.
with like especially to talk about the things that we're talking about in all the spaces.
Like Superman.
Like, yeah, you look
I can't
like
have
Superman.
Two ethics talking about Superman. That's like the full white sovereign, Especially considering, have we heard talk about the Millie girl, our Game of Thrones lady is now starting to film Supergirl, which is kind of exciting.
The way that you just threw that was like, what about her? Because I'm like, she's fantastic. She's going to be fantastic as Supergirl. I'm more excited about Supergirl than I am Superman.
Are you really?
Then I literally just watched that happen, Jasmine.
We're not going to fight. We're not going to fight it. We're not going to fight it. We're not going to fight it.
And then I think it's going to be a better movie than Superman because, to be fair, I've had 11 Superman movies. I've had one Supergirl movie.
And Lobo.
We didn't even end Lobo. We didn't really. Did we have a Supergirl movie? Or are you talking about The Flash?
No, I'm talking about a Supergirl movie.
You mean there was a are you saying live action or you mean like anime? Well, what was the Supergirl movie? It's probably really old.
Shot in the Dark. Guess what it's fucking called?
Supergirl.
There you go.
Rise to. Well, that's not.
Came out,
clearly, we were not asking what the fucking title
came
were.
Out the same time that Superman 2 came out originally.
This is
1984. Yeah, it's older.
Do we know who played Supergirl?
I don't remember the name off the top of my head. Jordan's got it.
Her name was Helen Slater.
Yep.
He's like the tech guy. He's like the.
It was great. It was
guy in the chair.
A fantastic movie. Everyone should watch it. But like that was the first like live action Supergirl we got.
It's like the only one.
We got Melissa in the CW stuff, and then guess what? Nothing.
Well, Sasha.
Not a thing. Animated.
Sasha Calle deserves better, but we're not going to talk about the Snyderverse. I'm sick of it.
I like the Sasha Calle. I'm just taking it away because that movie never should have happened. I feel bad for Sasha, but Flash never should have happened.
I loved him as the Flash. He was such a great Flash for me. It's just all the extra shit. It's all, and I say extra shit, but we all know what that extra shit was. That
Yeah.
just sit down. Just sit down.
And again, we've seen plenty of other franchises completely just like tear away and be like, you know what? Scrap all these plans because this person can't stay out of trouble. But for some reason, they really pushed that movie to still come out.
And now he's coming out. The director comes out now and blames like us.
Did you see? He blamed
He's
women.
blaming us?
Oh,
He blamed women.
Blame women. That's right.
I'm
Hold
sorry.
on.
He's blaming us for their issues?
Andy
For the movie
Muschietti
failing.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
failing.
Oh, no.
But he was blaming the fan base either way to be like, they didn't
I mean,
understand it.
it's
was
Trump's
wrong.
America, so I get it. This is not going to be the first nor the last time women are blamed for male issues or they-them issues.
Yeah,
Careful,
here, hold on, I got
careful,
you.
Jasmine. If you say anything negative, they might send a Secret Service to your house to talk.
Yeah.
What is it?
Andy
Show me.
Muschietti blamed lack of interest, especially from women, for the Flash's failure. Like, what did
Are
they all
you
have to do with
high?
it?
This is insane.
And he's supposed to do Batman Brave and the Bold, and now people are looking at him kind of sideways, like,
No.
really, bro?
No. I won't watch Brave and the Bold just because of that. I hate
Yeah,
men.
people were like, why are y'all blaming women? Like, there are a lot of women who went and watched the movie.
We
What are you
were
talking
all up
about?
in that. We were like Supergirl. Yes. Like,
And also
no.
forgive them if they didn't want to go watch it because your main actor was a very
Was
anti-woman
abusing.
person.
Yeah.
He beat a woman at a bar. Are you crazy? Like, why would we want to go and support that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they buried Sasha. She got like 3
She was supposed
things.
to, yeah. I was excited for her
I
Supergirl
was
and to
too.
see more. But
Yeah,
that's
she's
in the
been
past.
in a few movies since though. She's I think she's
That's
like
good.
all over the
Nothing
Sundance
promoted
scene.
though is the sad part. You know,
Shit.
I feel bad.
Mm.
I think she's
It's just
great
one of those
actress.
things of like hitting that type of movie could have been like the big break, you know.
I mean,
But
it was. I mean, she went from Days of Our Lives to this film. She had a great, and she still
she
is
does have a couple
going.
of things that have been coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't
But
going to
they're
be the
not
last thing for her.
I
major,
do
major.
I do hope that we get rid of the scent, and this goes into the Superman theories. You know, there's all types of theories on like, will they bring back Henry Cavill to be Bizarro, or will this other person from the? And I'm
There are
like,
so many other
can we
actors
just
in the
move
world.
it?
Why do we keep bringing back the same 7 actors? I'm so done
Because
with
people can't let go of
finding
nostalgia.
nostalgia.
They
No,
really can't.
I don't think it has anything to do with so. I think it's the box office. They are known to bring in numbers. If you have Henry Cavill and
Yeah.
anything, you know people are going to show up for Henry. But
It's-
it loses the story and it loses the opportunity for all of these other actors, myself, who are trying to break in. And we can't, because unless we have a name, unless we're part of WME, no one's gonna do anything. But then you see people like Blake Lively, who's got a name and just ruins everything. So it's just like, it's a catch-22. What were you going to say, Adam?
It's interesting you bring this up.
I brought a lot
Because
of
there's
things up. I
somebody
kind of went on a
who's-
diatribe.
No, it's fine, but it leads into what we're going to talk about anyways. And
Really?
I'm kind of like jumping a sec. Somebody
do it.
who's a big actress, underrated, not spoken about enough, but everybody is complaining about the movie. Zoe Saldana is in
Bruh.
4 of the biggest fucking movies ever made, and she is never spoken about. She is fantastic in
Are you
Lioness.
crazy?
She's
I have a
fantastic.
shrine in bubblegum of her. I literally went around
I
collecting
understand, but
like
you-
Helga
but
Potassi. I have a
Shrine?
shrine.
Where was the Oscar noms for Avatar? Where are the Oscar nominations?
No. This
everything else.
is a deeper conversation, because now we're getting into, we need to add other categories into the Oscar races. And being someone who's
People have
knee-deep,
been saying that.
being someone who has, had opportunities to ask these questions, I've got answers. And unfortunately, CGI, stunts, there is a hierarchy. There are other things that need to
CGI
go
stunts
in.
alone.
Ensemble, best ensemble. Like, there are other categories. These are conversations that are
Her
being
acting
had.
and speaking in Avatar is her acting and speaking. I get
You're
what she looks like.
not wrong. You aren't wrong, but because
Yeah,
it's
her-
CGI, it falls into a different category. And I think even at a
Shouldn't.
certain point, like for some awards, they throw that into the animation category. They don't
is
put
wild.
that into, but it is, because I hear you. You are not wrong. But when it comes to CGI, they don't put that into the same category as regular actor. Just like
We're not seeing her face.
we're barely getting stunts. I think stunts was added into the SAG this year or maybe last year. So we're slowly doing it. But to add more categories into the Oscars, the show is already running so long. And that's really what, like, they cut this year, and they do it every so often. I think they've done it 5 times so far. They cut all of the live acts. So it literally is just a straight show this year. There's no musical numbers. Yeah. There's no musical numbers this year.
It's just watching them read off a list.
We're watching people get accolades, the greatest accolades.
Fair.
You know.
But like the show part is really cool too.
The show part's cool, but I think it's because the speeches are running longer. I think that, and
they don't actually be cutting people off.
And I think it's also because of the LA fires. They just kind of want to get people in and out. We don't want to.
That's true.
And it's hard for them because right now, where the second the nominations go, because nobody knows. And I think I talked about this last year, but nobody knows whether or not they're going to be at the Oscars until those nomination drops. So the second that the announcement drops, they're making phone calls. They're letting people know, like, hey, you got to show up. You got to be here. They're doing the choreography. But because of the LA fires, you can't be bringing people to the Dolby just because you don't know how it's, it's just too much to rehearse in under a month. But the Oscars in and of itself gets done in a month.
That's insane. Now, Jasmine giving me a little behind the scenes. I didn't really realize that because I
got so much. I got so much behind the scenes. I got so much knowledge that I don't know if I'm allowed to tell. Like, can I tell you?
Don't get in trouble.
I'm gonna tell you. I don't know. I'll tell you one more because it's my absolute favorite. Yeah, if you work for the Oscars, bring me back. Look at how much I do for you. But my favorite thing is, and I think I've mentioned this before, but when you win an Oscars, there are 5 things that you have to do. First of all, the back room when you walk to accept your Oscar, there's a red carpet that and I walked on it, just so you know, my bad if I'm not allowed to say that. But there's a red carpet that only the Oscar winners are allowed to walk on, and it's part of like the winning tour. So once you win, you get your Oscars, you get it engraved, you do your interview with Good Morning America, you do a photo shoot, and then you head to the bar. There's like a special bar for the winners, and you do those 5 things, and then you go to the press room. But it's just like such a sacred and beautiful walk that only so many people got to do, and I just it was nice to see. But yes, that's it. Anyway, Oscars. Let's talk some bullshit.
Yeah, that makes sense because it just feels like award ceremonies have gotten to the point where it's like they're just kind of rattling stuff off, and like the performances feel like it's a part of the celebration of it, which I feel like we're losing a lot of celebration of a lot of moments.
We have a slapping good time, because then shit gets really crazy.
But yeah, the fires, that makes sense. But since we're jumping into since we're jumping into the Oscar noms, I didn't really keep up with them as much. I checked the list and I realized I did not see as much of the. No, I saw everyone is up. First of all, I will say challengers. I've seen a lot of people upset about challengers.
Yeah.
With Zendaya. Yeah, because I mean they were great performances and like.
I would love to know your takes on this, being straight men. I read this article where basically they were like, the Oscars are anti-bi. It wasn't just challengers. There were like a few movies this year where there was a lot of queer coded and bi. I think even Queer, the movie Queer. Like there was just a lot of queer movies that weren't brought up. And the thread that they found was that it was bisexually coded. And that was just the movies that did not make it through.
It's like you kind of had to be like just straight up one way or the other, but that middle ground was.
Or Conclave. You had to be a movie about the Pope coming to power. So
yeah, I think that is pretty interesting because it's a conversation that gets had a lot. That bisexuality, especially bisexuality in men, is not as widely accepted in both eras and sides. Like we saw it with what the hell was that show?
Coming out to us right now?
No.
Okay.
But no, I mean, for example, I grew up in a family that went to the church a lot, but at the same time,
like, sweetie, come on.
But at the same time, why am I echoing? I'm coming out of somebody's.
This is important because it's important.
It's not me.
But I came from a family that was also super accepting. Like my mom, I've never been able to really understand the perspective of like growing up in church, so being very anti LGBTQ or anything like that, because my mom always instilled in me like people can love who they love. People's happiness does not like take away from your happiness. And why can't people be afforded the same things that, you know, she is afforded with loving my dad? That they, because we had family members who I didn't learn this until I was older, whose parents were not accepting of them being gay. And I didn't even know that because I always grew up around, you know, cousin over here dating women, this one dating men. Like I just grew up that way. So I have a very different perspective even as a straight man, because like most people are like, well, you grew up churchy. It is like in the South too. And I was like, yeah, but my mom never really like, she shielded me. Her and my dad shielded me from a lot of that aspect of the church. I didn't know that was an aspect of churchy people until I was grown.
Ooh, buddy. Ooh, buddy. The amount of people who would probably come, if I clip that and put that online, would call you
Yeah.
so sheltered. They would, like, you had a good church. You had a very good church, but there's a lot of people, especially queer individuals, who are so, I mean, that's why they have conversion therapy, you know, from the church,
And
because people are
I'll put it
seen
on my
as,
mom. I think our church actually was bad and I just missed it.
good on your mama then. Good on your mama.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the Oscars go, and you know, even talking about queer, the Amelia Perez, you know, that's the #1 movie. But seeing a movie, I don't know, did you guys watch Amelia Perez?
Mm-mm.
Barely heard anything about it.
I've
Do
heard
you
Whenever
about
I
do
saw
it.
the,
I know of it. I just haven't watched
do
it
you
yet.
plan to watch it? I think
Yeah.
that's the better question.
I do, because it's got a bunch of people in it that I like. Obviously, the two main ones, Selena and Zoe. So
maybe.
Okay, Jordan, the quick elevator pitch of this movie. I'm gonna do my best to not put any of my impression on what I'm about to say, because I have to be neutral about it. I have to be neutral about these 10 films, and it's very hard.
Jordan, I'm
But
just
Amelia
shocked that you
Perez,
watched it, because it's music with words.
that's a great way of describing it. It's
It's
music with
using
words.
the words. She's like, you have the elevator pitch, Adam.
You just, bruv. Actually, Adam, do you want to describe this movie, or haven't seen it yet? So I have to. So Zoe Saldana is a reporter. She's a reporter. Everything's great and groovy. But this mafia cartel guy comes up to her and is like, hey, I want to transition into a woman. I'm done with this life of crime. Can you help me? So Zoe Saldana goes to, I think, 2 random countries to learn everything she can about sex change operations. She ends up picking one of them. He goes over, he has the sex change operation, and then basically says deuces. At this point, she says deuces to her entire family. And Selena Gomez is her wife, or was her wife. 2 years go by, and the mafia boss is like, you know what? I miss my family. I want to go see my family again. Comes back, but this time convinces Selena that she is her husband's sister or something like that, or like a relative or a cousin or something, but is now starting to get really close with Selena, like real affectionate with the kids, just like very attached. Meanwhile, Zoe Saldana just in the background the whole time. She's just there. She's also living in the house. She's just existing. Very confusing, very weird, but it's fine.
What?
Selena is now going to date someone else. The original cartel guy is like upset about that, kidnaps the kids, and I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but that's basically Amelia Perez. And there's a weird thing that happens at the end where you're just like, okay, cool. But meanwhile, Zoe Saldana just in the background. She's just in the background the whole time.
What I'm gathering from this, because I know a lot of people were very happy about, you know, Zoe at least getting her Oscar nom, is it's Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant. Like, it's like she's in like a movie. So people felt like Leo
Wasn't that
deserved
the
his
Bear
Oscar.
movie?
Yes. And people felt like he
He
deserved
deserved
his
that Oscar.
No, I know that.
That year.
I'm saying people thought he deserved an Oscar before that. And then the next year, he got in a movie that everyone was like, his performance, he deserves it, but this is a really weird movie. Like, it felt like just it was weird for him to finally get his Oscar with that movie. Similar to how people have feel about, I think, this, or about Jamie Lee Curtis getting what she got for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Stephanie was
Sue,
robbed.
Stephanie
Stephanie was
But
robbed.
She's also
So,
robbed
yeah.
right now, not being talked about in that show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and yeah, I just think that it is interesting because people think Zoe deserved an Oscar before now, and everyone's kind of looking like, why this one though?
I mean, you say that, but what, Adam? It's got The Godfather. It has more Oscar noms than The Godfather. It's got more Oscar noms than Seven. There's so many movies that are prolific films of history that this movie got more Oscar nominations than. So we're not even saying it's equal. As far as the Academy, this movie is not only equal, it surpasses these classic films. Like it's insane to
Love
me.
Seven, and I think Godfather's overrated.
Okay, that's fine. That's such a Family Guy thing to say, but that's fine.
I genuinely think
I did not enjoy The Godfather. Did
I
not
did not-
enjoy The
did not enjoy it.
I
Godfather.
enjoy it. I don't have a problem with it. I
It
just think
insists upon itself.
I think it is okay.
It
that's
insists upon
okay.
itself.
It insists upon
Just the
itself.
same
and
way
that's
I think
fine.
I saw. You think that what?
Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, the only reason it's popular is because of 15 minutes of Heath Ledger being Joker.
Yes, I could agree to that.
Yeah, I won't argue with that
I can attest.
because Batman
I
Begins was
also won't argue
fun.
anything about Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
Batman
gonna-
Begins
I'm
was
not
fun
gonna down
because
with a 10-foot pole.
yeah, it starts to get weird when you feel like you can't. Anyways, so with Batman talk, superhero again. What were theories that y'all have about Superman? Because we got it was a new teaser. They're thinking that there's going to be a Super Bowl trailer. We got the flight, which I have my thoughts, but I would like
have
to hear
comments about that. I've got a couple of comments about that, but I want to hear from Adam first.
About Superman,
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah,
I think there's way too many characters in it for a first. I think we're starting in the middle and not in the beginning, which is fine. And that's what James said he was going to do. I think it is a cornucopia of DC that we're going to get, where it's here's Superman 10 years in, and here's Martian Manhunter and all these people and everything sprinkled in there, and we're going to get cool Superman stuff. It'll be a great visual movie. Is it going to jumpstart DC? I don't know. Personally, I think currently at this time we can say that superhero movies is at hospice right now because I currently at the moment it's almost like when you're a kid and your parents argued all the time and there was, in-house violence, let's say, right? I don't have to
Mayonnaise
put up with it
analogies.
as an adult now, but I can still enjoy being with my family, but I don't need the childhood trauma. So I'm old enough to
Pull
live
that
on my
around.
own nonsense
He did
where
it.
I
He-
can
he
still
got
do
the-
vacations with them, but I know what I went through and I don't like it.
You really pulled that around because you was about
Yeah,
to lose me.
The analogy came. It came. Heard, first of all. I definitely want to second and double down on I feel like it's way too many characters. And I feel like not a lot of these characters are really going to be fleshed out. I feel like for my theories, I feel like we're building the Justice League. And I think that's really what this story is. Something that does bother me, and it's something that every single movie critic keeps saying, and I want to slap the absolute dog poo-poo out of them. And I did. It kind of came out word vomit with my friend Jose's because the Superman trailer dropped. And first of all, the way that people are hyping this trailer, when we only got 2 new shots, we got Lex and we got him doing a little zippy zoo through the snow.
Where
That's
he
it.
looks like fucking John Krasinski while doing it.
God, we love John Krasinski.
Oh, we do.
But
We're all John Krasinski.
We do, but the way that people I don't know. Content is interesting nowadays because I feel like a lot of the movie critics, they talked about that flight, the majority of their responses to that new trailer drop. But I'm like, it all sounds the same. It's just look at him go.
I'm not going to take it from Jordan, but did it look the same?
Did it look familiar? It literally is the Adam Warlock flight with a spin. And I understand. I have a friend who her point was she was coming at people who were trying to. This is the other thing that I'm so sick of. There's people who are like, it's
Glasses
trash.
off and everything.
Yes, Clark Kent had to go away for a second. Peter Parker got to go away. I'm putting on the black suit. So people were coming at it talking about it looks AI, what looks off about it, the colors look washed out, all types of critic stuff. It's the same thing of how every trailer that comes out, the saturation looks off. What the fuck do you know about saturation? Anyways, so I understand the argument of directors have their signatures. Obviously, it just looks like a James Gunn signature. I agree. I agree that some people shouldn't be trashing it because it's like, oh, this feels James Gunn because it's James Gunn, duh. But what I don't like is the other end overhyping that we just saw him fly and spin.
All
and
we saw
it's
him
literally
do was fly. Bruh, y'all gonna be shooketh when the movie comes out and you see he does it a lot. Like that, it
Yeah,
just is
it's
this really
frustrating.
content? It is. It's very frustrating, and that's kind of my point. But the thing that drove me crazy is all of these critics, and I think even Adam, you kind of said, you absolutely said it too, and that's what triggered me, is people saying, is Superman is the resurgence of the DCU? And so many of these content creators have been like, can't wait for Superman to be the thing that restarts the DCU. I yelled at my friend Jose via text, and I spelled something wrong, and it bothers me to this day because I'm not going to delete it.
You
It's
hate
getting a
doing
lot of
that in the
credit.
argument because then
I
you
hate doing
just
it. I hate
Was it
doing it.
Columbia? Because
But
that's fine.
no,
You
but
said misspelled.
I
so
yelled at
it
him
was
because
good.
he made a whole video and was like, Superman is about to restart the DCU, and I'm like, y'all, Creature Commandos has been over for 2 weeks. That's what started the DCU.
and
That was
y'all aren't even
supposed to be
talking
the
about
thing.
it.
And you guys aren't even talking about it. However, you go back on every single one of those content creators' pages, and they talked about Creature Commandos like it was God sent, like it was the greatest. And I literally put that on in my comment to him, and I think you guys can go back and find it. I put in my comment section, the fact that you did not acknowledge Creature Commandos as the start of James Gunn's DCU, and the fact that you said that Superman is the start of James Gunn's DCU, goes to prove every single thing that I said about Creature Commandos while it was out. Because I did not think that that was a good show. I did not think that that was going to be the start of the DCU. I think personally, the fact that we are ignoring that and acting like that didn't happen and that that was not the start of James Gunn DCU is just, it just hurts me. It hurts me on
And
a weird fundamental level.
what frustrates me so much about that too is like, I guess it, because like you said, it is this content. It's the unwillingness. It is like legitimately, you will see people when they announce these timelines, when they announce the layout, they will hype up. Oh, this is crazy. Creature Commandos. Oh, we haven't heard a lot about them. I'm gonna make all these videos of Creature Commando. Da, da, da. The show comes out, and because talking about the show, because it's not mind blowing, so you're not gonna get a million views on it. The same people who were hyping it up when it was announced have nothing to say. And I'm like, if you only ever have something to say when it's the most hype thing that everybody's talking about, do you actually care? And that's what's really begun to frustrate me over the last year, because I definitely noticed there'll be a lot of hype. Some people will say they see stuff early, and then I'm like, I'm waiting to hear the thoughts. But I've noticed that when it's something that's just okay, we don't hear the thoughts anymore.
In our defense, sometimes we are
Sometimes you
embargoed.
aren't allowed. Yeah,
And then
sometimes you aren't allowed to
by the
say
time the embargo comes, we have forgotten everything.
it. Would be me, because I'd be like, if I don't post it like 5 minutes after, what did I
Yeah,
watch?
unless because
What
that's
happened?
all of CinemaCon. That's literally all of CinemaCon is us getting all
God,
this
what was
hard-hitting
it?
news
Because
and then
didn't
having
you see Superman trailers at CinemaCon last year? Isn't that
no,
what?
no.
Somebody was talking about something that got seen at CinemaCon recently, and I was like, "Damn, you saw that like a year ago?" And there were new scenes or
There are
something
a
like
few
that.
trailers that have come out
Oh,
that we did
Daredevil! It
see.
was Daredevil.
Yeah, but that was D23. That was
I got my
D23.
con. I get my cons that I don't be at mixed up.
Yeah, because that's when we got the new exclusive comic book as well.
That's fire.
So yes, yeah, it's somewhere
But
around here.
yeah, Superman. To what y'all's point is, and people have been asking for this. People did say we don't need origin stuff. Like you could, enough people know about DC stuff that you could just go like a Justice League Unlimited show or movie, and most of us would be like, "Cool, you can jump right in."
Eat that
But
up.
it is interesting that we're choosing a Superman movie to basically not be a Superman movie. Like you said, it feels like a Justice League movie
Hmm.
already because there's so many people. So it's like, how are we really focusing on Superman? Do I think James Gunn could do a good job? Yes, but am I going to sit here and pretend like it doesn't feel shaky? No, I can't. I can't sit here and pretend like. And then again, it makes it really hard when people hype up a 2-second flight and spin clip, and it's like, but like, why are we psychoanalyzing a spin move and flight? Like,
Because we
can we
need the
get
content. Because we need the content, I guess. What I want to know though is moving past Superman and back to the Oscars. How do you guys think from the movies that you have seen? How do you think they're going to stack up? Best actor, best actress, and we can do best directing, and then
I still can't
best film.
believe Dune Part 2 didn't get Best Director.
Just so you know, I have not seen Dune 1 or Dune 2, so maybe this is going to be the year. I just
so? I did want to say too, it feels like Amelia Perez, no offense. I haven't watched it,
I didn't make the
and
movie.
Jasmine, no, Jab, but it feels like Amelia Perez is the industry plant that everybody, or that I felt like Dune Part 2 was. Because I'm not going to lie. Are we going to see it? Because Jasmine says she hasn't seen it. I saw it, and I thought it was cool. Everyone giving the 10 out of 10s, this is the movie of the year for like the first big movie of 2024 was so weird to me.
Is it not
And
a
so
good Adam, did you like it? Is it not a good is it not the
I
10 out
still
of
think it's
10?
the best movie last year.
You thought it was the best movie?
Yeah, I still think Dune Part 2 was the best movie last year. I
Crazy.
will
Crazy with
say,
all of the movies that came out. That's a crazy stance.
I will say, Jasmine, like when you go to see it, Dune 1, way more action, way more stuff into it. It'll keep your attention because it is longer. And Dune Part 2, more of a dialogue, more of a builder, because now we're going into
Sure.
Dune Messiah. Because these two movies were one book split. So this is now Dune Messiah that we're going to go into. We don't know what he's going to call it, but it's more of a long burn.
My issue is, do I also have to watch the show that came out?
No, for the love of God, no.
I think it's a prequel.
Okay.
I can't believe Dune's not in
The
original
show is how the
score.
Bene Gesserit become the Bene Gesserit and how they mold things and become who they are.
You're just saying words, my guy. You're just saying words.
She's
How
like
the
Bene
Catholic Church,
Gesserit.
shows how they run shit, basically, how they became the Catholic Church.
Mm.
So I am surprised Dune, because Dune had really great music. I'm surprised it's not up there with score.
Well, I thought, didn't it have sandworms too? Like, did it get anything for CGI or
Effects. Let me see.
best effects?
Well, I've got a list right now. So Best Picture, Jasmine, who do you think wins Best Picture?
Dune Part 2 is on
Who do I
visual
think
effects.
wins Best Picture? If we're going by the old white men, Conclave. If we think that the old white men are going to get it, or the Brutalists. I think that's what everyone keeps saying is like the big competition is the Brutalists versus Amelia Perez. I watched the Brutalist. I thought it was really beautiful. I thought that they had a lot of really symmetrical sets and scenes. Like he spent a lot of time to really, yeah, it looks beautiful and it looks very. Sitting here using small words to describe this film. It seems like there was a lot of meticulous effort to make the sets and the scenes feel architecturally beautiful, because that's the whole point. He is an architect. So everything about this film is beautifully placed. It's symmetrical. It feels intentional. And you see that and you feel that throughout the film, juxtaposed with him, the suffering, the fact that he's escaping post-war, the fact that he's got drug addiction. So like it's the beauty juxtaposed with his internal conflict. Fine. Textbook film. I get it. Versus Amelia Perez, that is just what the fuck? What is this? Like it's just, and I think it even is it. Can you check for me, one of you? Can you see if Amelia Perez is up for editing by chance?
I'm looking.
Because
yes, it is.
Wild. I'm gonna send you guys a clip. I'm gonna send you guys a clip. Hopefully,
I'm gonna watch it anyway, so you don't.
Does it got the TikTok editing from Madam Web?
Yes, it literally, it looks like how we are right now, where it's just flashing back and forth. And I think they compared it to, oh my God, they compared it to some movie where they're confusing most edits versus best edits. And that's the difference, is Amelia Perez just has a whole bunch of cuts back and forth, and they're confusing more edits with best edits.
Would you compare, because I've seen the movie I'm about to say, but I haven't seen The Brutalist. Would you say The Brutalist is similar to Babylon, where it was made to look real beautiful and everything was accurate and all that stuff, and it got all the hype and everything, but then kind of fell flat, like a wartime?
Well, that was a story. The story fell flat. They were trying to tell multiple stories in that.
Like, would
one.
you say those are, because I haven't seen it, would it be like similar? Like, you know what I mean? Like what the
intentions were? I think in the sense of, I think in the idea of the stylization, maybe, but I think The Brutalist can hold you. I think The Brutalist story is captivating enough to where you don't get lost, and by the end of it, you're like, alrighty, I did that. Like that's something you feel accomplishment after finishing that movie. I think the Babylon, I wanted to enjoy it, and I thought it had all the elements for me personally to enjoy it more, but I felt myself on my phone a lot. I felt myself getting up, walking around, and by the end of it, I was like, huh?
We don't think Wicked could win Best Picture?
No. I think that if Wicked wins, it'll be like Moonlight, in that we're all shocked. Like, we're proud. And I mean that in Moonlight, in that we want Wicked to win.
Nobody thought it was going to win Best Picture.
No, but no one thought it. But we are so proud that it did. It was a
Well,
moment in
technically it
time.
didn't, if I remember right. It didn't, and
Well,
then
no,
it
it did.
did.
It did. It was La La Land that didn't. It
No,
was
I'm
La
saying
La
like,
Land that didn't.
yeah, it was the misread.
There you go. But I think that
That
was
was a
such a
wild
big
year.
moment in time. If Wicked wins, it is going to be such a moment, and it will bring so much hype to the second film. Like, that's
Mhm.
so crazy. I don't know that there's ever been a part 1 film that is won. I mean, Dune probably was gonna be the first, but for a part 1 film with the second film right on the tail, that would be incredible. That would be so monumental.
This is why I enjoyed Wicked more than I did Dune Part 2. But and I went into Wicked with no expectations. I knew the premise. I'd never seen the stories.
Yeah.
Dune 2 was my favorite. And I was on TV for fucking Wicked. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I was gonna say,
Telling people not to sing.
yeah, no, telling people to sing. People are telling me not to sing.
Yeah, true.
Kiss my white cheeks. Best performance, lead actor.
Who are the contenders again? I know
Adrian Brody.
yeah.
Timothy Chalamet.
Well, this is best actor. My apologies. Best actor.
Sebastian Stan.
Give me that list again. Oh, not Sebastian. I loved him. He was a good Trump, but not for me.
Not this year, please.
Not this year.
Please.
I could you imagine that? Jesus Christ. The way
the blacks need to win.
Well, not only
Again.
that, but did you see speaking of Trump and Oscars, did you see the men that he picked that was gonna save Hollywood? Did you guys see this list?
Yeah.
I think I did.
I saw it.
Trump it was like Sylvester Stallone. It was like all of the Yeah. Yep. It was like the whitest Botox men that are gonna save Hollywood. It's like his elite squad that's gonna bring back the real Hollywood. And I
Don't
was
do
like,
this
this
to
is
us.
disgusting. It's so gross.
Please.
It's such a gross list. So can you imagine? I love Sebastian Stan so much, and I'm so glad that he is not trapped behind Bucky anymore. Like most of these actors, they're all stretching. I mean, minus RDJ, who's coming back again. But the eye rolls are beautiful. But it bothers me so much that if Sebastian Stan wins Best Actor for this role,
there will be
not
a
only
narrative.
will I have to, the narrative, the fact that we're going to see Trump's face all over Hollywood, the fact that when I walk up the steps to the Hollywood and Highland Center, that I'm going to just see that well, no, because they only do Best Picture, but it just hurts my soul. So no, definitely not.
Please,
for me. And we all just agree it's got to go to Coleman Domingo, like
yes,
Sing Sing.
Yes,
Coleman Domingo's doing great.
And R.I.P. Sing Sing for only getting like what 2-3 nominations. Hug, just this whole
Best supporting actor.
Give me the list.
Yora.
Nora, yeah.
These names: A Real Plane, Couple Unknown, The Brutalist, and The Apprentice. Jeremy Strong, Guy Pearce, Edward Norton.
I think Jeremy Strong is going to get it. I think Jeremy Strong is going to get that. I know that Anora, as many awards as Anora gets, I don't think the world is ready for a movie about a stripper. I don't think that's going to win.
It did look like a beautiful movie, though.
It's a stunning movie. I think that but it's a fun movie, and I don't see a fun movie sans Wicked just because it's got the popular vote. I just don't see it getting that
no pun intended.
much.
And it's a popular vote, okay? Get that right. Get that high in there.
It's got the popular. It's got the popular.
Thank you.
Vote.
Thank you. Get that run.
Yes.
God. Best performance by an actress in a leading role. I know who I want this.
They're probably going to give it to Zoe. I don't think that this was a great role at all. I don't think that she deserves it. I would love Cynthia to win. I think Cynthia puts so much more
by an actress in a lead role. Zoe's not in this one.
Oh, she's supporting. That's right. I'm so sorry. So it's Cynthia, and who else is the
Carla from Amelia Perez,
right?
Mikey from Anora.
You know,
Demi Moore, I think, obviously because of the Golden Globes.
I want Demi to win. Here's my issue with this category. This is the category that I feel like is going to have the most interesting. No matter who wins, we win. If Cynthia wins, huzzah! The musical theater girlies win. If Amelia Perez wins, I'm so sorry. Carla, I think is her name. Trans. The trans. And especially considering Trump just denounced trans rights. There are only 2 sexes, and that was so fucking weird for him to do in this. Like, how are you going to dictate people's rights in your fucking presidential
random? Like, go sit down somewhere.
Go Like,
Take a
it's
nap.
just like, what? That's not what it's for. It's not. Anyway. That
An
would be
executive order
amazing.
for that is weird, but yeah.
It's such a weird fucking thing. Like, it's post-dystopian universe we're living in. Weirdest timeline. That would be such an amazing get. And there was one more. What was the other one you mentioned? Demi Moore. Goddamn Demi Moore. The way that I want Demi Moore to win, just because I want
also have Mikey
Hollywood
Madison for Honora.
Honora's not going to win. Honora's not going to win. Honora, I love Honora.
And then you
I love
still
the
have
movie.
Fernanda for I'm Still Here.
And Notorious.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that there's enough hype. If it wins, fine. That's weird though. It would hurt my heart. There's too many other bigger wins and I just think that they're going to push a little bit harder. I think that there's more hype on the first three than the last two. Honora and I'm Still Here. They should have released those movies a different year. I don't think that this is their year, unfortunately. But the top three, I think Demi Moore for the longevity, the fact that she's been in this industry, the fact that we're having a resurgence for these older women. I think Demi Moore's speech, I think at the SAG Awards, where she's like, I feel like Hollywood left me behind and I'm so glad that, I'm still here. And especially having so many people tell her that she wasn't shit, essentially, all her career. And for her to come back, have this amazing, and also what a good get for horror. That's another big one. I'm so glad that horror is finally getting, we had a few, obviously, like The Exorcist, movies like that. I just want horror to have more of its shine in the Oscar film. So those three. But if I had to pick one, trans rights all the way.
Yeah. It was like superhero movies for horror. Like, horror was not getting a lot of love for the stuff that it was doing, even though horror and thriller has a lot of great stories to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we'll see that with Sinners this year. I know that we've seen it with like Jordan Peele movies in the past. So yeah, I'm down with horror getting more love for sure. And I don't even watch horror movies like that.
For Nope.
Say that again?
Kiki was robbed for Nope.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
Kiki.
What's next? Give me the next.
So, best actress in a supporting role, Monica in A Complete Unknown. Adrian, God, I cannot read or talk or anything today.
Adrian
Grande for Wicked.
Good thing we're not doing a podcast.
Yeah, Felicity for The Brutalist, Isabella for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. I do not give a shit. I want it to be Zoe because she deserves it. She is fantastic in literally everything.
I just don't want it to be for this movie. I'm so bothered. I just don't want it to be for this
It's one of those years where it's like, I think she's going to get it, but I don't think people want her to get it for her, but not for this movie.
Not for this movie. I don't think she's going to get it for this movie. And I don't think Conclave is going to get it. I think The Brutalist might. I think they might give it to Brutalist. I don't think this is Zoe's year, and I'm going to stand by that. I don't think this is Zoe's year. I think it should. I'm glad that she's now
usually telling though.
I hear you. I don't think it's going to be Zoe.
Says the same guy who did the push for leading actress and Golden Globes, and then they robbed a certain somebody a couple years ago.
I mean, if we're going by Golden Globes, I'm Still Here. Fernanda Torres won Golden Globe, so I don't know. Who knows?
Boom, headshot. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna. She's gonna get it for this one. But I'm glad that forever she will finally be known as Oscar-nominated actress Zoe Saldana. So that title will always, and she's gonna, she'll get a bigger bag because of it, because now she is Oscar-nominated Zoe Saldana.
Dang, she's been already making bags too.
Feel if Cynthia and Ariana took them?
If Cynthia and Ariana got it?
If they took them, it's gonna feel scripted. I'm not gonna hold you. It's gonna feel rigged.
Yeah, I feel you with that. I would be so happy, like, good for them. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the way that, how when they were doing their Oscar or their movie tour, they brought the broom, they brought the crowns. The way that those Oscars would travel with them,
but Jasmine, they'd be holding space.
They would be hold space. Anita,
fixing the diamonds.
Yeah, give me the last one. Because we're at 46 minutes of this podcast. Let's wrap this up.
Let me get a good one.
Is it director? Because everyone was bitching about John Cho and honestly a lot of directors.
No,
it's really hard because one of the big things, and this is, I don't know if you guys are planning on making any Oscar things. One of the big things about the Oscars that they don't like is when you talk about snubs. If you're a creator who talks about, you want to stay neutral with the Oscars because everyone put their time, effort, and, filmosity into everything that they do. And so when you are just focused on snubs and what the Oscars didn't do, that's not something that the Academy enjoys, because the Academy is built on, it's a popular vote. It's everyone in their own individual categories voting. And so it is what it is. And
all the
that's
people
just
worked
something
hard.
no, well, even beyond that, it's all the people within the Academy voted. And so it's not like it's the Academy, it's the people. This is what the people want. And so when you're like, oh, the Academy did all of these snubs and you're putting it on the building and the figureheads, you're kind of being a dick and you're kind of being a douche, because it's
Fair.
not that. And so, yeah, it's tricky. So if you're a creator who's just like, these are the snubs and this is my opinions and this is how, it's like, that's fine. Have your opinions, but don't blame it on the Academy. Blame it on the people, because these are your figureheads. These are the people. The directors vote for the directors. The actors vote for the actors. Everyone votes for Best Picture. Editors vote for this. Every single whatever. All that to say, just be mindful. It's not the Academy's fault. It's
very demure.
Very demure. Be very demure. Got it.
Best animated.
Give me the last.
Best animated film.
Ooh.
Flow, Inside Out 2, Memory of a Snail, Wallace and Grimace,
Flow.
and
I haven't
The
seen
Wild
the
Robot.
cat one, right?
Yeah, Flow's the cat one, which is crazy you haven't seen that.
It just missed me. But not having seen that Wild Robot, not having seen it Wild Robot. But I don't know. We'll see when I see Flow if that changes.
It feels like everything based on what I saw Wild Robot is like probably the contender that everybody's thinking of. Not gonna lie, Inside Out 2 was cool.
Can I just say, I know I just did this whole speech about snubs and how we're not supposed to do that. Can I say one snub that I was really disappointed in this category?
Go ahead. Share with the class.
Transformers 1.
I heard so much good things.
It was so good.
It outperformed like some of the hottest things that were supposed to be coming. I feel like
sleeper hit. It was such a sleeper hit. That thing came
Brian
out of
Tyree
nowhere.
Henry.
Oh my God.
I want to kill him.
I want to kill him.
I got a last one for you, Jasmine. It's just for you.
Yes.
Achievement in costume design. Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked.
Okay.
If you don't say Wicked, it's wrong.
I know, but Nosferatu was so good. And it's a period piece. Here's my thing is I know that Wicked put in, like, I think Wicked's going to win for production design just because of those goddamn tulips. I really want to say Nosferatu for this one, but I know it's going to be Wicked. Conclave, if it wins, that's the white people that gave it that. Because, I mean, the robes are not that great. It's Pope robes. Calm down.
I need black people to win a couple times.
We just went to the thrift stores, right? We just went to the thrift stores for these outfits for a Complete Unknown. That's fine. But yeah, I think it's gonna be Wicked. Those were all brand new designs. Everything was fresh and new, and it was developed not only from the books but from the screenplay. I think the way that they paid homage to all of the other classics that it came from is really important. I think there was just more thought and intention put into the costumes. But Nosferatu, man, love a good historical piece.
Isn't he? Robert Eggers is set to do another film. Yeah, that's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah. Okay, give me the last ones. Let's go.
Fine, I'll do two quick ones. Both you can answer. Achievement in Sound, Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. It's
probably
Wicked.
Dune.
Yeah, I think Dune would. Because Dune, like a lot of people had this stuff to say about the sound design. I don't know why I didn't see that.
Because they filmed and sang on set and did everything that way.
Well, hold on, back the fuck up. Yes, they sang on set, but that's not the music that we heard. That's just them singing on set so that they hit their marks. I want to be very clear about that. They did not use the song or use their singing from the wide open set as the final product. They were in the studio.
No, they made it into a studio and sang on set. That was what they both said in interviews. They made sound sets, actual recording studios out of those sound sets so they can record them singing.
If I'm wrong, I'll kiss the ring if I'm wrong, but that makes no sense because that's not what we heard. We heard an edited version, like a fix. And not only that, but I heard in interviews, literally Cynthia going to Ariana in the sound booth, being like them working on the song together, them building and like singing it. And there's videos of them in the booth singing.
How was them singing recorded, Jordan? Because
Give it, Jordan.
Oh, this article is a little confusing because it says that they sang live, but it's not really making clarity on like, is that what got used? I don't think it is though.
Because that was the whole push that they did in the pre-market stuff, where they were like, the director was talking about.
I saw those videos, but that's just to hit their, from what I understood, that was just from them hitting their marks. And like, you can sing on set and I get it. Like, cute, it's fun. Yes, they were singing, they were doing it all at the same time. But when it comes to what's actually mixed and put into the soundtrack, that it doesn't even sound like an open space.
No, because
that would
Ariana
be really cool.
brought that up in, God, what interview was it? Obviously, her and Cynthia were together, but they talked about
let me be frank. I hope I'm wrong. I sincerely hope that I am incorrect and that you were correct
about how like they did it this way because they didn't want to like sing over like them doing it. It's better doing it this way, and it made more
doesn't
sense.
make sense either. That doesn't make sense either because you would be singing
no
over
microphone
each other and then,
would pick it up. Yeah, like you would hear them going while they're out of breath.
Well,
like I don't
you
know.
can edit that out, but what I mean to say is you can't edit and fix individual verses if you're both singing on top of each other. All of those harmonies, like you got to go in there to fix it, like to make it cleaner.
They recorded all the singing audio on set because he even brought up how they had to do this filming different and made the set.
Come back to us. Come back to us in the next recording, Jordan, with the answer. If that's true, yes, Wicked would win.
All right, and then last one, achievement in visual effects: Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked.
Again, the one thing I will appreciate is the people commenting about how there's two CGI monkeys competing for the same category. I thought that's cool. I never saw Better Man. I was supposed to go to that premiere, but then the fires happened, so I still have not seen this film. And in fact, I saw something recently about how Better Man has less, there's like a big movie that's still out and going. I can't remember what it was, but Better Man is making less money than a film that's been out for like over 100 weeks or something like that.
It is.
My ceiling is leaking.
Grand.
Well, that's the end of this podcast.
So guys, if you made it this far, be sure you like and subscribe. Also, we're going to put a link to fix Jasmine's roof in the comments. Maybe I'm just talking.
You can help this poor girl.
What the fuck?
Are you on
my rent now? Hold on. Do I pay my rent if my ceiling is leaking?
Are you on the second floor? Or are you on the third floor?
I'm on the second floor.
Is there?
So you're in the middle?
Floor.
That's the top?
No. I'm on the top floor. The second floor is the top floor. There's only 2 floors.
You leaking from the rain.
It's so gross. Look at it. It's like brown.
And it's getting on your stuff. Okay. All right.
Well, that's the end of this show.
So, Jasmine, what you got to do?
We didn't get to Best Picture. We didn't get to Best Picture. Where's the...
Fine, Best Picture. Just say whatever Best Picture.
She said she's a star. She said, this ain't going to stop me.
For Best Picture.
Anora, The Brutalist, Complete Unknown, The Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked.
Substance. I want The Substance to win.
Okay. For me, I think because of, I feel how you feel. I felt like Dune Part 2 had a little bit of background. A lot of people were like 10 out of 10. And I was like, this was a good movie. I enjoyed the first one better. And y'all are saying this one is a 10 out of 10. Like, sure, Paul Atreides' speech was fire, but like, I was also confused for a lot of the movie. I'm not going to hold you. And I was paying attention. My pick would probably be Wicked because I loved Wicked.
I'll have to watch it.
But you got to put the leaking at the top and be like coming up, and they'll just watch until we get to it.
I guess. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. Well,
it's like a tiny little hole, but it's like, what?
Y'all can't catch a break.
You cannot catch a break in LA. Jesus Christ.
We got a volcano thing in Jersey, by the way. Did you know?
Okay, you can't catch a break either.
In Jersey?
There's a volcano in Jersey.
There were volcanoes in North America.
Yeah.
Like I get it in Mexico, they have volcanoes. That's kind of like a thing. Maybe. I don't know. Do they
I
have
need you to
volcanoes?
send me this because I want to hear about this volcano. Also, stay safe. Don't get melted.